Hello everyone, Sharif Abu Zaid here with a new video, and today I want to show you how you can correctly install the Kadence theme, and I will show you some hidden features that you may not be aware of. I will show you how you can customize your colors and fonts, how you can control the layout options of your website pages and posts, how you can customize the header and footer, and some other features that I think you need to be aware of if you plan to use the Kadence theme for your next website projects. Without any further delay, let me show you how you can actually do this. So let's start by installing the Kadence theme. You can actually install the Kadence theme by going to Appearance and then click Themes. And then you need to click Add New to add the Kadence theme. So let's click Add New. And here you can just search for the Kadence theme by writing Kadence theme in the search themes bar. But because Kadence is a very popular theme, you'll find it actually in the first page. So just scroll down here. This is the Kadence theme. We need to click just Install and then activate to activate the theme. And let's visit our website page now. So this is how our website looks right now. Of course, we are going to change this once we install a starter template. But first, let me show you quickly the main settings that you need to be aware of. So let's choose to access your main settings. You need to go to the customizer panel, and you can access the customizer panel by clicking the customize button here at the top of your WordPress dashboard or the admin bar. So let's click customize. And these are all your theme styling options. You can control here, as you can see, you can control your colors and fonts, header and footer. You can control your posts page layout, site identity, menus and widgets, and home page settings. Let's start with the change, how you can change or how you can control the colors and fonts. To access the colors and fonts options, of course, you need to click colors and fonts here, and then let's choose colors. And to actually show you how these changes are implemented, I need to just open the sample page. So once we make any change to the colors and fonts, you will find it reflected in this page. So by default, Kadence comes with 9 colors, and these are global palette colors, which means that if you make any change to this color palette here, this change will be reflected across all of your website pages and posts. So what does these 9 colors mean? These the first 2 colors are your links and buttons colors. So we have a link here. If we change this color to something like green, you'll find that this link color has changed. And this is the first color, and the second color is the links and buttons hover color. So if we change this to be something like red, let's change this to red, and we click here, you'll find that the hover color of this link is the red one. So this is how the first 2 colors are used, which are your accent colors. So let's go back to the default state, and for the color number 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, these are your text colors. Of course, you can make changes to these, but let me show you how these are controlled. So for example, your page title color is controlled from the color number 3. This is the strongest text. So if we change this to be something like red, you'll find now, let's change this to be like red, you'll find the page title has changed into a red color, or an orange color actually in this case. So these are your text colors. If you just forget about this, once you hover over any of these colors, you'll find that color number 3 is your strongest text, number 4 is your strong text, 5 medium, and 6 is the subtle text. And the last 3 colors are your background colors. For example, this background, the title page background, is controlled by this color. So if we change this background to be something like blue, you'll find now the background color of the title page has changed to be blue. So these are your global palette, which means that, again, if you make any change in these colors, this change will be globally reflected across all of your website pages and posts. Now, you can make 3 palettes. You can change this to be something like this, or the third palette like this, but make sure that you're choosing one palette. I will start with one palette and make the changes to my colors here. If you want to learn more about what does this global color means, you can just click here, and you'll be taken into an article that has been written by the Kadence WP team to show you what does these colors means. So let's go back to our colors, and also you can control your website background from this. If you change this to be something like this, you'll find this is your website background. Make sure you choose all of your colors from this palette, because this is your global palette color. If you change this just from here, and you need to change the background color at any later stage, you can't control it globally. So make sure any color that inside the website pages, and if you make any change to colors, you are changing or you are choosing the color from this palette here. So let's make this again back to the original color. So let's make this, I think this is the color. So this is the website color, and this is the content. The content color is this area. If you want to change the background color of the content, you can change it from here. Let's make this like this. So this is how you can see. If you plan, of course, if you plan to use this color, you need to change the color of your fonts. So let's get this back to the default. And here your links, the content links, these are your, again, your buttons. You can change it from here. For the link style, this is the link style. You can change it to be something like no underline. So you'll find the underline has disappeared from this color, but because these are links, I like to keep them underlined. So these are your colors and options that you have inside the Kadence theme. So let's go back to our buttons. This is really important, but I think if you want to, if I want to show you this, let me add a button here. So let's click this, and I will go back to the customizer again. So let's open the sample page and let's edit the page, and let's add a button here. To add a button, I just click here and search for button. Let's add a button and let's click, let's say click here. I need to show you what does the colors options mean. So let's click update and let's open the page again. Let's go to our customizer and let's open our colors and fonts and let's go to button. So what does the buttons options here means? It means that if you add any color, any button inside your website page and posts, the button style will come from this global buttons colors options. I think this is a brilliant move and smart one, because it keeps your buttons consistent across all of your website pages and posts. So you can control your global styling for your buttons from this options here, from these options here. So if you want to change the background color of this button, so you can change it from here. So let's change this to be something like black, and you'll find now if you add any button inside your pages, it will take the background color of black. If you want to change, let's change this to the default. If you want to add a border, you can make it from here. If you want to add a radius, let's add a radius like 40. You can change it from here. And if you want to change the fonts, you can just click here and change the font from here. If you want to have like the font size, you can change it from the size part. If you want to make this like 20, you can change it from here. So these are the global styles of your buttons. Of course, if you like to add a padding, you can add the padding here. If you like to add some shadow, you can add it from here. So let's go back to our typography. This is the typography. All what I like to do is that I will just use one font from here. So I will just use maybe this font. So let's choose the Sans Serif Helvetica. This is, once this font is chosen, it will be globally reflected across all of your website text, headings, and any part that has a text inside it. For example, like the colors text, it will be taken, I mean the color type will be taken from the base font. This is how I actually like to do it. So I just choose one base font here, and I will just, you know, kind of change something like, let's change it to be something like this. As you can see, all the changes have been reflected in this page. So this is how you can choose your typography. If you want to change your H1's colors, you can change the colors from here. You can change the font size from here. If you want to make this like 45, you can make it from here. If you want to change the H1 colors, you can make it from here. So let's make this like something like this. You'll find now this color, this title page has changed. But again, there is a specific option about how you can change the title page color. So let's just take this back to its original or default option. So let's go back to our, now we are done with colors and options. If you go to the header, let's just leave the header and footer for now. Let's go to our general options. And this is important for the layout. This is really important because sometimes it conflicts with some options that you like to make, or sometimes it drives you crazy if you are not aware of your layout options. So let's go to the layout options and have a look over the main options here. So let's start with the maximum, the content maximum width. This is your content area. This is the yellow part. This is your content area. You can control the width of this content area from this part. So if we make this like 1400, sorry, you can just change it from here. And this maximum content width will have control over your header layout, header width options, and also it will control how your how is the width of your content inside the pages itself. I like usually to make this 1280, so 1280. I like to make it like this because according to my research, this is the best width for desktop and tablets and smartphones. And also for the there is another option called narrow layout. Once we go, and I will show you this, when you go to the post and pages layout, you have two options: the default layout, which is this is the default layout, or the narrow layout. You can control how narrow you need your content to be from this area. So let's make this like 750. So if I choose at some point the narrow width for my posts, for example, this is the width of my posts. The width of my posts will be 750. These are the main two options inside the layout option. So let's go back here. You'll find also another option for your sidebar. This is the most important part of this option actually is your sticky sidebar. You can enable your sidebar to be sticky once you choose it from here. So if you add any sidebar for any of your website pages and posts, you'll find the sidebar is sticky by just enabling this option from here. Of course, you can change the background color of your sidebar from here. You can just change the sidebar background from this part. If you want to add some dividers, a border divider, you can change it from here. And these are some other options relevant to your sidebar. So these are the main options here. One last option that you need to be aware of is your social links. This is where you add your links to your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Vimeo, and other social media channels or social media networks. Because once we go to our, if we want to customize our header, maybe you need to add like links to your social media networks. But if you want to correctly add them, you need to actually add the social networks links from here. So let's quickly just add dummy links to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook and YouTube. Let's add them here. So let's go back to our main settings. So these are the main options that you need to be aware of inside the general tab. So let's go back to our posts and pages layout. So let's go to our posts and pages, and let's start with our pages. And this is really important. Sometimes this drives me crazy when I forget about something. Let's start with the page title. If you can control if you want to show or hide your page title, so we can just click here. If you want to just hide your page title across all of your website pages. And this comes handy if you plan to use a page builder such as Elementor, a Thrive Architect, or Kadence Plugins page builder, which we are going to use during this video. But of course I want to show the page title here. And once you enable the page titles, you have two options: the on content page title. You can just make the page title go inside your content area, or you can make it just above your content area. Maybe you have noticed this. If you choose the page layout to be in content, you'll find some specific options relevant to the on content. For example, you can just make this center aligned, or left aligned, or right aligned. But if you choose the above content, you'll have more options here. For example, again, you can just make this like center aligned, but this is your container, your title container height. You can change it from here. And actually someone was asking me about it yesterday, how he can change it. So this is something like a hidden feature, I think. You can change it from here. If you want to make this full width, you can change it from here. If contained, from here. This is contained means that the width of the title page will be according to the layout width that you have already set up inside the layout options. Remember this, because that's why I want us to start with the layout options, because it has a great effect in some other settings inside the customizer. So I like to make it like standard. And then you'll find that if you want to add maybe the title, if you want to add the breadcrumbs, you can change it from here to add this breadcrumb as part. This is really important if you consider your SEO. And then for the content, the page layout itself, if you want to make it like full width, you can just make it full width from here. And you'll find that the content has been stretched according to the full width of the screen itself. If you want to make this narrow, do you remember the narrow layout options? This is how we asked, or how we set up our narrow width from this part. If you want to add, let's make this as normal. So normal means that it will take the normal width of the layout options, which was like 1280 pixels. And if you want to show a sidebar for your page, you can just choose to show a sidebar from here. If you like, from here, sorry, you can change. You can show the sidebar here to the right, if you can change it to be the left. But usually I like to use a normal page layout. And also, if you like to make the background, the content style unboxed, you can just click here to make it unboxed, so it will stretch across all of your page. I mean, the color will be stretched, but the content will keep the original content width. I like to make it like boxed now, for example. And this is the vertical and vertical padding. If you like to enable it, you can just do it here. If you, this is the padding, this is the area, this is the padding. If you want to control how the size of the padding, you can control this from the general options, which we have seen just moments ago. And now if you want to show a featured image for the images, you can just enable it from here. If you want to enable comments, you can just enable it or show it from here. But of course, I don't like to show featured images, the featured image for the page itself. So these are the main options that you find for the pages. These are the general options. If you want to go through the colors and fonts and sizes, you'll find these under the design. For example, if you want to change the font color, the title page font color, you can change it from here. Let's make this red, blue, sorry. If you want to change the color itself, the size and the font, you can change it from here. So let's say, for example, the size, we want it to be 55 pixels. You can change it from here. You can, just control it from here. But I like the default options of the page title by Kadence. So, and these are some other options that you need to go through. If you want to, again, if you want to change the background color of the page title, you can control it from here. So let's change this to be something like black. And let's make the color something like white. So this is now, I think, looks nicer, but as I mentioned, I like to keep the default settings for now. So I just keep the default settings from now. So let's add this, let's make this something like this. Okay, sorry, like this. That's fine. So these are your page layouts. Now for the single post, you'll have similar options. Again, the same post, if you want to show or hide your post titles. If you want to control your post's page title from here, these are the same options that we have seen with the page layout. But still we have some posts relevant options for the featured image. If you want to show your featured images, you just make it from here. If you want to hide it, you can hide it from here. Then you can control how do you like the featured image to look like. I think I'll try to go through these again once we install our starter template. So let's go back to our archive. This is how you can control your archive pages for example, for your categories pages, for your blog pages, for your blog posts categories. Now let's go back to our header and footer. And this is really amazing. I mean, here for the header and footer of Kadence, you have three rows. The main row, this is the top row, sorry, the main row and the bottom row. This is how you can actually control the settings of this row. Each row will has its own main settings, and you can access these settings. The background color of the row itself, the height, you can access these once you click this settings gear icon here. Now, if you want to change, let's make it from here. So let's suppose that I want to change the color of the main row. Usually this is the main row, which has the logo and the navigation. If you want to change the background color of the main row, you need to click the settings of the main row, and you can change it from here. So let's make this like black, and this is the main row. If you want to add some padding, you can just make it from here. So let's add like a 15 padding, and let's add this from here. So let's add this 15 padding from here. As you can see, there is padding here. If you want to control the height of the main row, you can, again, we are still inside the main row settings. You'll find it here. This is the main row. You can just make it from here. So this is your main row settings, but let's get this back to the default state. Let's go to the general, and you'll find me thus, I can control now the height of the main row. And this is something that people keep asking about. So now this is the main settings of the main row. Now let's go to the options or the main widgets that you can add for the main row. So let's go back again to our header. So this is our header. Here you'll find that you can add the logo. These are the items that you can add to your header. So let's just, let's remove these for now. And now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items that you can add to any of your header rows. For example, if I like to add my logo, I'll just click here and choose I like to add my logo. So I just click my logo here. If you want to access the options of your logo, you need to click the gear icon or the settings icon of the logo. And this is, I think this is a hidden feature. When I first started using Kadence, I didn't know how I can change these settings. So if you want to access your logo settings, you need to click here, and these are your logo settings. If you want to change the site title from here, you can change it from here. So let's say this is design, interior design. Let's change it from here. If you want to add a logo, you can just click here and add your logo from your media library from here. If you want to show your logo title and tagline, you can add it from here. If you want to change the icon, which is this icon, I mean this is the site icon, you can change it from here. You can just upload an image here to be used as your site icon. Now let's go back to our header and footer. So this is the header. I want to add my logo here, and I also want to add my menu. To add my menu, I just click here and click the primary navigation. This is my menu pages. Of course, if you have created some additional pages and you have set up your primary navigation to be this menu, it will show up in this area. Now, again, you can add more widgets here. It will depend on which pages you still have available. For example, I still have the primary navigation, the search bar, the button, the social networks, and the HTML. Let's say that I want to add a button to this area. So I just click here and I will choose button. And as you can see, the button has been added here. And maybe you have noticed the style of the button is the one that we have set up before inside the customizer button settings. So if you want to change the background, you can just click here and you will have access to all of these options relevant to the button itself. So this is how you can change, how you can control your header of your website. And of course, these are all the desktop headers options. If you want to change the tablet or the smartphones, you need to click here, and now you will have some options when it comes to your smartphone and tablet navigations. So let's click here. If we want to add a button to the trigger here, you can just add it from here. You can add it from here. So this is the button. If you like to control it, again, you just click here to make some changes to the button itself. But I like to remove it from here. So these are all of the sorry, let's add our navigation. So let's add our navigation here. Sorry, the trigger means that this is the trigger of your menu. So once you have your menu, it will show up like here. Now again, you can control the style of this. This is called the off canvas, the header off canvas menu. You can make it like a center line, the content center line. You can make it left or to the right depending on your choice. So let's close this now and let's go back to, so these are all the mobile navigation settings. Of course, you can just click here to control the mobile navigation. If you like to start as collapsed submenus, you can control it from here. Of course, you can choose a specific menu for your mobile devices. For example, I have on one of my websites, I have a navigation bar for the desktop that has like I think 20 links. Of course, these are divided, organized, but for the menu, for this mobile menus, I can just make this smaller. Now let's go back and let's go back to our header. Let's change it to be something like desktop. So these are the main options of the header. If you like to add your social icons, you just click here and you can add your social icons and they will be added just right here. If you want to change this to be just, to maybe inside the main row, you can just, drag it from here and add it to here if you like, but I think this doesn't look fine. So I just take it back here and maybe I will remove my button. So now this looks much nicer now. For the footer itself, this is the same. These are the same options, the same one like the header. You can just, you have 3 rows, top row, middle row, and bottom row. You can make changes to these as the same as we did with the header. Maybe you need to know how you can change the this copyright part. You can just choose it from here. You can change it from the copyright part here. If you like to change the Kadence theme to be something else, you just click. These are the short codes. If you like to change, remove the Kadence theme, you just remove this from here. And now you'll find that this copyright part has been deleted. Of course, again, you can change the background of the main row by going. So let's change the bottom main row here and change the design from here. So let's change it to be something like this. This is not the title, so we can change. Sorry, this is the widget titles. If you want to change the background color, you can change it for the bottom row. You can change it from here. So now it has been changed. So these are the main settings or the main options inside the customizer. Now we need to install one of the Kadence starter templates to show you how you can actually customize the starter templates pages itself. So let's click publish here and let's close this and let's go to our WordPress dashboard. And to install a starter template, you will have access to this button, or if you don't find it, you can simply go to plugins and then click add new. And here you can just install the Kadence starter templates plugin by just writing Kadence starter here. And this is these Kadence starter templates that we are looking for. We can just click install now to install it. And now we can just click activate to activate the plugin. But because we are in the add plugins screen, I like to also install the Kadence Blocks, which is the page builder developed by Kadence. This is something like Elementor or Thrive Architect, Beaver Builder or Divi. It behaves like it. You can just forget about Elementor and start using the Kadence Blocks, which I highly recommend, and actually use it instead of Elementor. So I will just quickly install the Kadence Blocks again also, and I will click activate to activate the starter templates by Kadence WP plugin. And then I will activate also the Kadence Blocks plugin by clicking activate here. And now both plugins have been activated. If you want to show the library that comes with the Kadence starter templates, you can click view template library from here, or you can just go to appearance and click starter templates. If you are choosing Elementor as your page builder, you can just click here to choose to show the Elementor templates. Only these are the templates that has been designed by Elementor. But as I mentioned, I like to use the templates by the Kadence Blocks, and these fall under the category of Gutenberg. And actually Kadence keep designing more templates for Kadence Blocks or for Gutenberg more than Elementor. You'll find they keep updating their media library for Gutenberg specifically. So these are all the templates that comes with a Kadence starter template. If you are using the premium plugin of Kadence Blocks Pro, if you are using the Kadence Blocks Pro, you will have access to all of the pro templates. But because we are using the free starter template, the free version of Kadence, we can just use or go through the free only ones. And here we can choose any of these templates to install it as our website template. So let's choose one of these. So let's choose this one. You know what? Let's choose this one. This seems to be light. So let's click here. And this is the template that we can install. Of course, you can just go through and view all of these template pages by going through here. So let's click our portfolio. These are the pages. You can install a full site or a single page, and also you'll find here the required plugins. Because we have already installed the Kadence Blocks, you'll find it like active. But if any of these templates is using another plugin, you'll find the name of the plugin here. I highly recommend that you install the plugins before installing the template itself, because this makes it easy if you try to install the template. And here, before you start installing any template, you can change the color palette from here. So if we change this to be something like this, you'll find, let's open the home page. If you change any of these, if we click here, you'll find all the global colors has been reflected. If we change it to be something like this, you'll find that the colors has been changed according to our color scheme or our color palette. So let's choose the first one. Also, you can change the font family. You can change it from here. So if we change this, you'll find that the font colors has been changed across all of the website pages. And I will start by installing the full site. So I will click full site now. And here you can just go through the important details. So these are your global palette, and these are the advanced settings. If you want to import the customizer settings, which I like to do, if you want to import the content, you can just check it from here. If you want to subscribe to their email list, you can add your email here. But because I'm already subscribed, I'll just click skip and start importing. Let's give it some time to import the content and install the required plugins. So now the import process has finished. It took like 2 to 3 minutes. The time taken to import your starter template will depend on what are the plugins needed for this starter template, and also your server, how strong is your server. So let's click finish and view our website. So this is how our website looks right now. Let's go to our customizer settings. So let's open the customizer setting again. You'll find that these are our color palette. If you want to change to make this something globally change, you can just change it from here, and you'll have access to the same colors. Let's go to our header. If we go to our header from here, you'll find that they are using the social icons here, and also the primary navigation. As you can see, this is the primary navigation now. And this is the logo itself. If you want to add a button, you can just customize by clicking here and adding the button. So let's click add button. You'll find that the button itself has taken the styling options of the buttons that has been installed with the starter template itself. So I just like to remove this, and let's click publish, and let's close the customizer setting. And now let's try to access one of these pages. So let's click the about page and let's open it in a new tab, and let's click edit page. Now if you want to customize this page, you need to know the structure of the page itself. As I mentioned, all of these pages are designed by the Kadence Plugins plugin, which works the same way like Elementor and other page builders. I like to start by knowing the structure of the page. I mean, how many containers and rows are inside this page. And you can actually know this by clicking this document overview icon. You'll find that we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 rows here. So this page has 6 rows. Once you click this, you will access all the row. If you want to know the structure of the row, you can just click here. You'll find that this row has 2 sections or 2 columns. So this is the first column and this is the second column. The first column contains a row layout that has a section inside it, and you can just go through all of these. Now if you want to make changes to some of these text, you can just click here and make this. So let's say this is, and if you want to control the widths and colors and everything relevant to this widget itself, you'll find it in the right part. You'll find all of these widgets comes with 3 tabs: the general tab, the style tab, the advanced tab. Usually the general tab will speak about the structure of this widget. For example, if you're using the info box, you'll find now you can change the layout of the info box. And the style tab is usually relevant to the font colors, borders, colors, size, etc. So make sure that you check all of these tabs if you want to make changes to any of the pages parts or sections. Now let's click update and let's view the page, and now you'll find that the change has been reflected. Now inside each page, let's start by let's not start a new page, but inside each page you'll find an icon called page settings. If you click here, now you can control the layout options of the page. Remember, the layout options we have set up inside the customizer. You can override these settings by just going inside the page settings. If you like to disable the transparent header, you can just disable it from here. If you want to make your content to be narrow, you can just control it from here. If you want to be boxed, you can control it from here. Let's click update and let's view the page. I'm just showing you an example about how we can control it. You find we have missed the design of the page, but I just wanted to give you an idea about how you can actually control the layout of each page. Maybe you are creating a new page and you want to know to make this like full width, to disable this transparent header. You can make it from here. So let's go back and make this default. So once you choose the default, so it will take the default style coming from the customizer itself. So let's make this page layout default also, and let's make this unboxed. You'll find now everything has gone back to its original update. So let's click update and let's make this default. So let's view the page, and now the page has gone back. But as you can see, we have shown the page title. We can just disable it by going to the page settings again and disable the page title, and let's click update and let's view the page. You'll find now the page title has disappeared. Now let me show you the layout options for the blog posts. So let's open the blog page and let's go to one of these blog posts, and let's click the customizer and let's go to post and page layout, and let's go to the single post layout. So this is how you can actually control the layout of your post. So let's click post title. If you want to change the post title to be inside the content, as you can see now it has changed, and the position of the featured image as well has changed. If we go down, you'll find options relevant to the featured image. If you like to hide this, you just click here to hide the featured image. If you like to show it, you just click here. If you want to make it like stretch full width, you can just click here to make it like stretch full width across all of the screen itself. If you want to show relevant posts down below here, you'll find it here. If you want to disable this, you just go here, you'll find disable the don't show the relevant posts, and you have many options here. I think this is a narrow width. So if you go to the post layout, if we change it to be something like normal, I think this will go wider. As you can see, this has gone wider right now. I think this looks beautiful. Maybe we need to change the width of the featured image. We can do this by going just at the bottom. I can change the featured image ratio from here. As you can see, you can change it from here. So let's make this like 32. I like to be something like this. This looks nicer, and let's click publish. And let's go to our page, our blog page, and show you how you can actually control the page layout. So this is the archive page. Forget about this. This is something created by default. Let's go back to our archive layout. And if we want to make this like 2-column row layout, we can change it from here. So let's change it from here to be a 2-column row layout. This is a 2-column row layout. If you want to hide the featured image, you can make it from here. This is the post element. This is the featured image. You can just click here to hide the featured image itself. But of course, I like to show it. Now I can show the featured image. Of course, if you go here, you'll find some options relevant to the featured image itself. You can make it like something like this to increase its size, decrease it actually. And this is if you want to control this hidden layout, you can just control it from here and then click publish. And let's view the page. Let's view the home page. So this is now how all of our blog posts will look like. Let's open another page. Let's open another blog post actually. So let's open this one. Now it has taken the same styling as we did inside our customizers settings, and this is the home page. So this is how you can correctly install and customize the Kadence theme. This is how you can change your header and footer design options. This is how you can control the layout of your posts and pages, and also your archive pages. Hopefully you find some hidden features after watching this video. If you liked it, please give me a like, and please consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I create similar videos every single day. Now, thank you so much and see you in the next video.